Wait, holy sh! There's a new Puss in Boots movie, and that's one of the characters? Oh, I'm not gonna... Oi, Ron, change of plans. The Angry Birds movie. I don't care about Chuck. I have a better one in mind. Yeah, so welcome back to this totally not last minute video that I just didn't create because I saw a character I liked. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. You already know what I'm here to talk about, and honestly, I can't wait to dive into this for no reason at all. I'm gonna give a little bit of background first on this movie before we continue. So Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was released on December 21st, 2022, and is a sequel to the 2011 Puss in Boots movie, which served as a spin-off to the Shrek universe in the franchise, which everyone's pretty aware of already. So there's about 11 years? Holy shit! That's... God! I hope Zootopia 2 doesn't take that long. Hold on, cut that out, Ron. Cut that out. In terms of budget, Puss in Boots 2, which is I'm going to call right here, had a budget of $90 million and absolutely excelled in the box office. And I mean, blew it out of proportion, making over $309 million worldwide, which is already better than The Bad Guys, which is my last video I did, which only grossed over $250 million worldwide. And they got celebrities promoting their Although I do kind of have a guess on why it kind of took off more than The Bad Guys. I'm sorry, Mr. Wolf, you're just not good enough. You got replaced. Mr. Wolf, you're irrelevant now. Get out of my face. Khonshu, you're next. But numbers just reflect one point of view on the reception of the movie. You know a more practical way we can see what people actually think? The reviews. And since it has been a month since its theatrical release, this is when all the good reviews start showing up and all the hype from being a new movie starts to die down. So let's see some of the real reviews, shall we? Good movie, but girlfriend was fighting sleep demons the whole time. She worked a long day, but overall, I loved it. I feel like that wasn't the best time to watch the movie, but hey, I'm glad you liked it. Great movie. In fact, I was not going to see it. I thought it was for kids, but you know, it's mostly for adults. Yeah, I mean, like, look at the one everyone's talking about. It's clearly for adult furries. No hate, furries. No hate, no hate, no hate. The CGI was spot on, and the lines in the movies were relevant and meant something. Nice movie. It was recommended to me. I'll recommend this movie and perhaps see it again. Nice job, Holly Weird Dreamworks. Okay. I guess you have a few creative people working for you. Keep it going, Monster Inc. Hold on a second. I think you got the wrong studio. Yeah, someone's gotta tell him. Moving on. Oh my god, where are all the bad reviews? Where are all the funny reviews? Come on, they're all 5 stars. They're all the movie's too good. Oh, finally, a 1.5 star review from no name. Yawn, slept through most of this. He probably fell asleep picking his name too because he has none. I don't know how you could fall asleep with this unless you're sleeping with the wolf. Then that's a whole nother story. We're gonna move on from that. My brain is going. Moving on. Amazing, OMG, such a rel movie. Made me cry. I love this movie better after Shrek 2 and How to Train Your Dragon. One of those 2 movies I'm gonna be reviewing soon. And to get a good picture, we need one more review. Come on, I need one star review. Yes, finally a 1/2 star review. Oh no, should I just Google Translate this? Yeah, let's do it. So this guy doesn't, again, Google Translate, but this guy doesn't like it because of the animation. So personal preference, I guess, but I think I got a good idea. Oh god. I think I'm ready for the first viewing of this movie. And yes, before we begin, I've seen the trailer, I know he exists, and thank God it's not November. Oh hey, look, it's the movie that caused me so much pain. The movie starts with the premise of the entire plot, introducing a magical wishing star that is able to grant one wish and one wish only. I guess I'll use my one wish that you guys would subscribe. Puss in Boots gets introduced in what seems like an eternity, hosting a party in his name only to find out that this dude was the only one not invited, to which he asks for his death. And in the scurry, Puss awakens some League of Legends champion, which ultimately leads to his untimely death. And that's the end of the movie. Just kidding. He wakes up shortly after in the doctor's office, who promptly informs Puss that he in fact just died, to which Puss just laughs and claims that he has 9 lives like every other cat. Well, had 9 lives. He kind of used 8 of them already, and honestly, this one was completely avoidable. However, since he is on his last life, the doctor recommends that Puss hang up the life of a hero for good to make use of his last life to avoid permanent death. But he chooses diabetes and negligence instead. Puss hits up the local bar to drink his problems away when this mysterious character pops up out of nowhere. He isn't the thumbnail of the video or anything, so we'll just skip over him. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Dreamworks. Convinced he's some bounty hunter, Puss is quick to the fight, only for him to pull out Sears' heirloom and proceed to show Puss how much better he is because he's loaded full of cash. More like loaded full of furry bait. Dreamworks. Oh my god. The sound design though. Oh. The furry bait wolf dude nearly decapitates Puss, leaving Puss in a state of shock as he realizes how close he has come to death and decides to scurry away while he has the chance and a life. Unlike me. Side note here, the use of blood is something I've never expected Dreamworks actually doing, and I think it did a good job of showing the seriousness of the situation. Props to Dreamworks on that. Finally done with his life as a hero, it is here that Puss in Boots finally becomes Puss the house cat and submits to the way of all the other felines. Except he doesn't. Multiple times. Water is his weakness, I guess. But eventually, he succumbs to the lifestyle of a lowly feline. Ew. On the upside, he grows a rocking beard, though. It honestly fits. But here we meet Perrito, which isn't actually his name. Perrito just means puppy in Spanish, so we'll just call him dog. Wait, no, that's worse. Moving on. Apparently, Puss is being tracked down by fucking Goldilocks and the 3 British bears, cause that makes sense, who are in search of the map that will lead them to the wishing star. Puss overhears this and realizes that with that wishing star, he can wish for his 9 lives back and become the legend of Puss in Boots once again. Overhearing who had the map currently also, Puss and an unwanted stowaway try to break into the manor of Babyface, only to be foiled by his old partner from the last movie, Kitty, not so soft paws. After narrowly escaping death, thanks to the help of Sunny Dingo over here, Puss and Kitty rekindle their trust issues with one another, but ultimately still stick together to find the Dark Forest, the resting place of the Wishing Star. Once inside, they realize that their paths change due to who is holding the map, and it adjusts based on the holder's life. For example, since Kitty and Puss both have crippling insecurities and hope to remedy them with the Wishing Star, their paths are treacherous. While Perrito over here, who doesn't care about the wish, has the easy path, so you can guess which route they went with. Assholes. However, Goldilocks and friends, as well as Jack and his friends, catch up with our triage of friendship, but they end up losing the map since Puss sees the furry bait again and takes off in sheer panic, going on one hell of an acid trip. Puss reveals to Perrito his desire to get his 9 lives back, as well as revealing that he and Kitty were supposed to be wed long ago when Puss got cold feet and supposedly left her at the altar to retain his legacy. Now that the British folks have the map, it ends up leading them to their old home, which happens to be the home of the 3 bears, reminiscent to that of the fairy tale. All in the while, Puss takes accountability for leaving Kitty to pursue selfish desires, but in the process finds out that Kitty never showed up either. Yikes. Wonder what everyone who attended that wedding thought when both the bride and the groom didn't show up. We are gathered here today for the wedding of 2 Yeah, it literally says it here, but this is the same universe where a donkey married a dragon, so hey, anything's possible. Oh, wait, what? Neither of them showed up? Okay, so now we have gathered here to find out who the hell is gonna pay me because the little shithead didn't pay me in advance. Kitty ultimately did not show up because she saw an arrogant, stuck-up individual who was so caught up in his own legacy to think about anyone other than himself. But to which she further states that she doesn't see that anymore, rekindling what was once thought as lost to Puss. With this knowledge in mind, they are able to repossess the map from the bears, but in the process lose Perito and in an inadvertent turn of events are forced to split up, with Kitty going back to save Perito and Puss trying to find his way out of a chasm that seems way smaller from afar than it actually is. Kitty succeeds with her end of the deal, but Puss gets caught up in a party with multiple versions of himself, convincing him to continue the life as a legend, only to realize that as a result, he has lived in seclusion. And then the furry bait comes out again, revealing that he has been observing Puss throughout his various adventures. Because, surprise, surprise, he is Death. And I don't mean metaphorically, or rhetorically, or poetically, or theoretically, or in any other fancy way. He's Death. Straight up. And the motive behind going after Puss was his lack of appreciation towards any of his lives. So he'll take his last one since it's clear he didn't value life itself. If I didn't see all the memes of this dude all over the internet already, this reveal would have probably hit way deeper with me. But the execution was still quite good nonetheless, even if I did know his identity out of the get-go. Puss narrowly escapes death. Literally now, but at an awful timing and just as things were starting to go up for the Puss Kitty ship. He takes the map and goes straight to the location of the wishing star to attempt to make his wish for all his lives back. And this ending sequence is quite a mouthful, but I'll sum it up as quick as I can. Puss is stopped by Kitty, furious obviously, who is then stopped by both Babyface and the Brits, who all compete for the map. Goldilocks had a chance at one point to make the wish, and her wish was for a real family, but chose the current one she had instead. Babyface tries to make the wish to remove all magic from the world and only keep it for himself, but only to be trapped in his bottomless goodie bag. Everyone seems to have made up at this point, but we can't end the movie without a final tango with death. With the comic style animation and superb audio design, this fight scene was definitely the highlight of the movie for me. Unbiased, but in the end, Puss staves off death by showing he is willing to fight for his last life, proving to Death that he has a new appreciation for the fruits of life and leaving Puss be, but warning that he will meet Puss again when it is time to meet Death for real. With Death now out of the picture, Babyface eats the cookies from Alice in Wonderland and starts becoming a fetish that no one asked for. He attempts to make the final wish, but is delayed long enough by Perito for the rest of the participants to snatch back the map and mutually agree to destroy it, with Jiminy Cricket here delivering the final blow to Babyface's plan and leading to his timely demise. Now, with the film reaching its conclusion, Puss and Kitty decide to name Perito
Jeff? Yeah.
No, they continued to name him Perito. Jeff would have been better though, to be honest. In the final scene of the movie, Kitty, Puss, and steal the boat from that rich dude in the beginning of the movie as they sail off for more adventures in a land far, far away. Literally. And that's it. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. And I'm gonna be brutally honest here for a second. I haven't even watched the first Puss in Boots movie. To be honest, I didn't even know it existed until I did some outside research on this movie. Which goes to show how well this served as a standalone movie. Sure, prior fans might have seen Kitty and instantly recognized her, but they did a good job explaining her background with Puss and catching the new viewers up to speed, because keep in mind, the movies are about 11 years apart. The plot and message of the movie were well done on Dreamwork's part here. Emphasizing the importance of living your best life and to cherish those close to you definitely isn't a unique message, but the way it was communicated through the embodiment of literal death was orchestrated rather magnificently, and definitely something I've never seen before. And again, DreamWorks actually using blood to convene a degree of severity and seriousness to the first encounter with Puss and Death was just perfect. I would have to say the best scene or sequence of the entire movie would have to be, to no one's surprise, the final showdown between Death and Puss. I feel like this is what drove home the entire message of the movie, while also showcasing the animation talent that went into developing the scene. The worst scene, I believe, would have to be the opening fight scene with this rock monster thingamabobber. I guess it set the stage for the rest of the movie by killing Puss for the 8th time, but other than that, this whole scene felt a lot more drawn out with a random ass foe and could have just been cut out of the movie and started instead with Puss in the doctor's office realizing he's on his last life. It would have set a way grimmer tone that would have persisted throughout the movie. And with that, I will give my final rating of Puss in Boots The Last Wish my first ever 10 out of 10. Honestly, I felt like it's well deserved. But what do you guys think? Do you think my opinion, rating, and rationale is valid? Do you have a rating of your own? I would love to see what you guys thought of this movie. So be sure to drop those in the comments below on your way out. And speaking of way out, don't forget to subscribe. like and subscribe, but I gotta call animal control.